reporting to you from the Dáil. The resilient British economic data in the immediate wake of the Brexit vote may have led to some hope in Ireland that the economic risks might be contained. The collapse in sterling over the past few months and talk of a hard Brexit have been a big reality check. For Ireland, the move to Brexit brings two economic threats: clear short-term risks and huge uncertainty about the future. Above all, the problem in the next year or two could be volatility in currency markets, in confidence, in trade and in investment. Beyond that, who knows, though the rough rule for Ireland is that the harder the Brexit, the worse the outcome. What we would like to find out today is how an open border will affect our agriculture if Northern Ireland can export agricultural products, which are not to European standards. The non-tariff barriers resulting from Brexit could have tremendous impact on cross-border trade. Is there now a concern that once outside the EU, the UK will pursue cheap food policy, which could compromise the quality of imported food?
Most certainly there is, because, down through the centuries, the UK were never that friendly to Ireland, while it still have jurisdiction over 6 counties. This was a very selfish move, really, and it's been selfishly pursued by Prime Minister May. So they intend to go all out, I believe, to create their own trading partners, and really to hell with the 26 counties, or to a greater extent maybe not even too worried about the 6 counties. And we know that the members up there voted for to remain the majority, but they're not paying any heed to that. So with the poor relations, so I'd be very concerned that they will pursue that their own for the good of the UK and the United Kingdom, rather than what's good for Ireland or indeed the 6 counties.
How can Ireland protect the high quality food that is produced to EU standards from upcoming changes in cross-border trade?
So it's going to be very difficult, as I said, because it's a whole new area now, and it depends, and I spoke earlier on Brexit tonight, it certainly depends on how aggressive and how we go out and demand that our European partners now that are left in Europe without post the EU exit or Brexit, that they support us now.
What measures will be put in place to prevent cross-border smugglers of non-EU standard food and animals?
I'm well used to the border, and the smuggling hasn't stopped with the peace process. In actual fact, I would contend that there's a blind eye being turned to the smuggling and indeed eye laundering to keep some of the paramilitaries that have stood down their weapons happy. And it's a disgraceful situation. So I see a frightening degree of smuggling going to start up again. I don't see any rigorous campaign at government level, not blaming the Gardaí or the Army. They're not, or the customs, they're not empowered to do it. We need very rigorous steps, and we're going to be dealing with people who have made a living out of this for decades, probably nearly half a century, and from the trouble started in the 70s, and they know nothing else only to smuggle. Smuggling is their trade, and it's their illegal, it is a trade, but they make lucrative money out of it.
Very frustrated and upset by the fact that we might have a hard Brexit and a hard border. I think it would be disastrous for both Ireland and the north of Ireland, because I think it would transgress all the rights we've achieved, both the human rights, the rights of people with disabilities, rights around trade, ease of access to each other, and I think it would be disastrous for farmers, for the natural resources of this country, and I think that we would be a huge loss.
Well, I would vote for United Ireland because Ireland is a country, and we had a colonial imposer that came here 600 years ago, divided the country, and yes, there is a set traditional community of unionists in Northern Ireland, but they are still Irish, and I think identify as Irish, so we should be all part of the one country, Ireland.
It's a very complex issue that I don't think can be resolved easily. I think there's going to be some very tough negotiations in the ensuing months, because you've got the British side and you've the EU side, and of course the Republic belongs in the EU camp. The whole Good Friday Agreement came about through a right to self-determination. So I think the people of Northern Ireland themselves have to have a huge say in that.
So my opinion of a hard border between Northern Ireland and Ireland,
I would say it's just not workable. And the first thing that comes into my mind is that Northern Ireland has, I don't know, what, 400,000 people that identify as Irish citizens. So the idea that there be a hard border separating them from other Irish citizens on the same island just is not. They're not going to stand for that. And I can totally understand why they wouldn't. So that would be why I think it wouldn't work.
The negotiations on the terms on which Britain will leave the EU are due to be completed in 2 years, so it could exit around April 2019. It would be in Ireland's best interest to have as clear a transitional arrangement as possible, and one that involves as little as possible change from current practices. Brexit could cost us significantly in the years ahead, not only in agriculture, but also other economic aspects. It is up to our government to ensure that the impact is as low as possible. Back to you in the studio.